Hello, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Charlotte, and I'm going to be breaking down my net worth for you, which you already know. I'm 20 years old. I am really excited because I love these videos. I love personal finance videos. I'm just one of those people that loves to talk about finance. I love to talk about money and people making money. I guess that adds up because I went to school for business administration. I just graduated in April and it's July now. And I'm fully aware that I'm just a stranger, but I just don't see many videos like this from people this young, I guess. Like all of the videos are people in their later 20s or their 30s, 40s, whatever. I thought I should do a video like that. If you are one in a million people who have seen the couple videos that I have posted on this channel. I haven't posted in over a year. It's been pretty bad. I just don't think the styles of videos are for me. I was making like vlogs. Videos in general aren't really my thing. I'm not much of a talker. I'm more of a thinker, listener, writer, journaling, typing stuff out. That's more my thing. So like sharing my thoughts in forms of videos, not really my thing. So I think that me trying to do like little vlogs or me talking about my feelings, I don't know. I mean, I might do those again, but just it hasn't been felt natural to me to do that. It feels like a lot of work to put those out, even though those videos are not difficult to make. But I am happy to see you here if you're here, so thank you. So first of all, we need to give some context of me. I live in Ontario, which is in Canada. I live about 2 hours east of Toronto, so not too far from there. I live in like the busiest area of the province. I live in like it's a town. It's not a small town in the middle of nowhere. It's down near the Lake Ontario. This is like random information that I'm giving you. No one's going to be in the same situation as me, so I want to set up my situation so that when you compare your situation, you know, like this is not my net worth of me living in a city my whole life, me living in Toronto or Vancouver my whole life. No, but I will say I went to Humber College in Toronto. I did a 3-year program. I lived in residence my first year. My second year I lived at home for the first semester. Second semester I lived in like a downtown apartment in between Bathurst and Spadina, right above the Kensington Market. It was such a cool, I loved living there. It was like an hour subway, streetcar, bus ride to get to school. But it was worth it. Those 4 months were great. I love living in downtown Toronto. And then my third year I was at home except for September, where I lived in an Airbnb for a month. Finding housing in Toronto is so hard when you're a student and you don't have any friends to live with. So my last year I had mostly online classes and I was driving to Toronto like twice a week. I have a car. Gosh, how do I get into this? I have a 2020 Kia Forte. I paid $10,000 for it because it was my grandparents' car. Now what happened is I needed a car. I was looking for used cars. My mom said, hey, your grandpa loves looking for cars, and it's true. He loves to buy cars, look for cars, whatever. You know, let's see if he knows anything or knows any good places, has any recommendations. We asked him and he said, actually, I want to get rid of my car. And so I ended up buying his car and I only paid $10,000 for it, which I'm very, very privileged. Like, that's the thing with this video, is I'm very privileged, which is weird to say because I've never considered myself privileged, but that's what it's like to grow up privileged, is you don't know how privileged you are. I do want to say I'm not rich. My family, far from rich. Like in school I was not poor. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, I was poor and we didn't have food. It was like my family is like lower middle class. I don't even want to say middle class really. It's more my grandparents that are upper middle class maybe. That's the reason that I have this car. This car is not something my parents bought for me or anything. My grandpa was very, very generous because this car that I have is currently selling for around 16 to 18,000. That's what I saw online when I was looking it up. Just got this car in October of 2024. I didn't even ask for this car. He was just like, you know, I kind of want to sell my car. Do you want to buy it? I only had 35,000 kilometers on it. It, you know, was clean. He took super good care of it. It came with the winter tires. It came with fancy mats with sides that I can just like take out and dump the dirt out whenever I want. I'm fully aware that it's great. I mean, I still paid, I mean, $10,000 is a lot, but for what I got out of it, you know, it never needs repairs. It actually did need new front brakes when I got it, which my grandpa did for me. I sound like a spoiled person. Again, I did not ask for any of these things to fix the brakes. I was gonna pay $400 myself, but he fixed them himself. I am forever grateful for that. It's a great car that I'll probably keep forever until it breaks, which won't be for probably a decade at least. So then on to the more important stuff, I guess. I have 3 jobs currently. I would say summer and fall, all 3 jobs, and then I'll just go down to 1. Mainly I work at an accounting office. I'm an accounting clerk, bookkeeper, and I do tax returns for people. I was very lucky to get that job as well. During my 2nd year of school, I emailed a couple places in the area, a couple of accountants, and also a couple like realtor offices. I was also kind of interested in real estate, which I still am, but it's definitely not a job that I want in the near future. So put that aside. But anyway, I think I just reached out saying I'm in my 2nd year of school. I would like to, help out somewhere, get some experience. I would be really interested in that. Like, I love accounting, I love finance, and I would love to see what it's like. One accounting place actually responded to me. This accountant messaged me back and said, yeah, come in, for an interview or something. I went in and we just talked about my schooling and kind of what I learned. And anyway, I got the job and I've been working there off and on because I moved back to Toronto the 2 times. But I started working there in October 2023, and I'm still there doing full time during the tax season. But now that it's summer, I do 3 7-hour days a week, Monday to Wednesday there, just for the summer, maybe a bit into the fall. And then I have my 2nd job, which I have done for the last 6 summers. It was my first job. I'm still doing it because I love it so much. It's an ice cream truck. I do the scheduling, some of the payroll, in inventory sometimes. We don't have specific roles because it's literally an ice cream truck, but if someone were the manager, I guess it would be me. I love it. Currently 12 hours a week, sometimes more if someone else isn't available, or sometimes less if I have to take a day off, but typically that's 12 hours a week. My final job is a burger truck that's actually next door to the ice cream one, and I just started working there this year. It's been 2 months, and I work 8 hours a week, so in total I work 41 hours a week. I make $19 an hour at both the accounting place and the ice cream truck, and then at the food truck I make $20 an hour, soon to be 22 because I'm learning how to grill the burgers, and I guess I'll be getting that much in the next couple weeks or so. Which is funny that I get paid the most at the burger truck because I've worked there for literally 2 months, and then my other 2 jobs are I've been there for 6 years and I'm basically the manager, and a job that I literally went to school for. But that's fine. All of these places are small businesses, and I get why they can't pay me much. But that is okay. I do not think I'm worthy of more. Plus, at the ice cream truck and the food truck, I make tips. That alone, I don't like feeling like people are pressured into tipping me, when I'm just making ice cream. Anyway, I'm very grateful for it. I'm very, very grateful for it. It makes me a lot of extra money. But okay, so this is my budget tracker. I should have mentioned that I'm gonna pull this up. I just did it without telling you guys. I bought this budget tracker last year, and it has become the best purchase I've ever made. I love it. I spend way too much time on here analyzing my expenses. I do not like to spend a lot of money, although I do spend a lot of money, but I definitely don't buy a lot of things. I'm not really a things person. I say that as I'm wearing clothes that I bought that aren't even thrifted. A bit more context. The government funding for school that we have here, it's called OSAP. It paid for thousands of dollars of my schooling. I also just went to college. I don't know where you're from, but when I'm saying I went to college, I mean college, not university. University is 3 times the expense, and also usually would be 4 years. I went to a 3-year advanced diploma program at a college, so that's a lot cheaper. I only lived in residence for 1 year, and then I only actually lived in Toronto for 4 months the 2nd year, and then only 1 month for the 3rd year. So overall I didn't spend a whole lot on rent and stuff. My parents, I know, they each paid a 1/3 of it. I'm really grateful for them, and then I paid the remaining 1/3. Anyway, to get into it, my main bank that I started using was RBC, just because my parents set me up with it when I was younger. In that, I have a checking account. I have a high interest savings account, which is pathetic because I think the interest rate is below 1%. I don't even know, but I have that account. A Ion Plus Visa. me not having any idea. And then I have a managed RRSP with them. Then I have Wealthsimple, which I love Wealthsimple. I genuinely don't know where I would be in life if Wealthsimple didn't exist. They probably have so many problems, but I'm grateful that it exists. And with that, I have their checking account, which I earn higher interest on than this stupid high savings account that I have with RBC. So I keep most of my money in my checking account. And then I have 2 TFSAs. I have a managed one and a one, like a self-directed one or whatever. And then I have a crypto account as well on there. And then I have a Quest trade with a self-directed RRSP. And I use that mainly for US investing because I would never want to hold those in a TFSA. I specifically hold the US ones in Quest trade in my RRSP. But I have a second credit card. It's a Neo MasterCard. Yes, I was tricked kind of into getting that. Thought, wow, like, you know, you can save on so many things. They have so many amazing deals. And I barely ever use that card. But anyway, I have a second card on there. All right, to start off, in my RBC checking account, I have $359.77. That is in there because I have to pay my insurance and it's July 30th and they're gonna take the money out in a couple days. Oh my gosh, that's the problem with my having such a new car, is because my insurance is like $4 grand a year. Never gotten a speeding ticket, never been in a car accident. I took driving school, if that's what it's called. I have my full G license. But anyway, they're gonna be taking money out of my account. Then in my Wealthsimple checking account, I currently have $6,725.19. That is a lot, I know, but I have extra change. I keep it in there. Extra change. Sorry, that sounded pretentious. All the money that I don't have in investments or in a different savings account, which I'll get to in a second, I keep in there. Then in my RBC high interest account, now this is completely not normal. I have $8,937.49, and that used to be in my Wealthsimple checking account, but randomly last month I noticed that RBC is giving me a bonus interest. I didn't know about it. I just noticed I had like $8 of bonus interest. Basically, point is, for a couple months, my RBC interest account is earning a bit more interest than my Wealthsimple, so I transferred thousands of dollars over to there, and then I've been putting any extra money in there while they're giving me this promotional rate. I didn't just open the account either. I opened the account like 2 years ago, so that's why it was kind of a shock when I saw it. Meaning that in cash, I have $7,084.96 and $8,937.49 in my savings accounts. Then I get into my investments, and I love this. I love investments. I just can't believe that investments are just like a thing that we can all just use for free. Like, I genuinely just... I truly love investing platforms, and I love the stock market. I love picking my own stocks and funds. I love index funds. I love investing so much. You don't understand. I don't know why people don't feel this way. Some people don't start investing until they're like 30, 40. Some people don't care to know how the stock market works. Anyway, I'm pretty young. The stock market is huge and I don't know much, but I love all of the different investments we can do. So I'm gonna go over here. This is my investments value calculator. By the way, this value tracker is amazing. It was made by a girl named Gabby. Maybe I can link it. I don't know. Anyway, she made this herself. Absolutely insane. I was previously using one that I made myself, which looked nothing like this and did not contain nearly as many details. This one has this cool calculator where you can put in the values of all of your different investment accounts and the stocks that you own. So I love this feature. So in my RSP managed account, it has a value of $2,700. In my managed TFSA, I have $9,000. And then in my self-directed accounts, my TFSA is my everything. Not quite, but like, I just love it. I'm literally just so grateful that TFSAs exist. If you didn't know, sorry, I'm assuming everyone's Canadian. You're not, probably. TFSA is tax-free savings account, so you put in money and then you invest that money in stocks, ETFs, not crypto though, but mainly it's used for Canadian investments. And when you take the money out, it's tax-free, completely tax-free. Currently, these are all these stocks that I own and the quantities. And so the total value of my self-directed TFSA is $9,730.04. And then I have a crypto account, which I used to have more in. Crypto really scares me, but I do want to get into it more. I did put $100 into Ethereum like 2 months ago, and it went up. So I put in $100 and it went up to 146, and I was like, I'm taking it out, and thank God I did, because it's kind of falling again. Anyway, I just don't love investments that you have to keep watching. Like, you kind of always have to be like keeping an eye out for. But I think I want to put a couple $100 in again. But anyway, currently at the moment I have oh my gosh, I have point whatever 686 of Bitcoin. So my crypto account is literally just $111, and then my self-directed RSP I started earlier this year, and I only put $500 in. I'm still getting the hang of it. The US investing and using Questrade is it's a lot. Transfers when you want to put money into the account take 3 days. That alone is a lot. Currently I only have these, which means it's $519. So the value of my investments is $22,000, which makes me really happy. I just started investing when I turned 18. Actually, that was my first thought. The day after I turned 18, I opened up my TFSA, which I was disappointed in myself because I really wanted to do it on my birthday. It was like a dream for a few years to open up a TFSA right on my 18th birthday, but then something happened, I forget what, but it didn't end up happening. The next day, the day after I turned 18, I opened my first TFSA, and I've just been investing ever since. I do have my car. Now, I know that that's pretty controversial because a lot of people don't like to count their car because it declines in value so quickly, but I do have reasoning for this. My car is worth a lot more, not a lot, sorry, that sounded pretentious again. If I wanted to sell it, I could sell it for like $16,000 to $18,000. So I figured just valuing it at the $10,000, which is what I paid. It's money that I used to have in my bank account, and now I have the car. It's in good condition. I could sell it for more than $10,000, but I just have it valued at $10,000 since that's all I put into it, and I don't think the value will drop below $10,000 for the next few years. So it's just a personal choice. If you want to subtract that when I'm talking about my net worth and you want to pretend that I have the $10,000 less, that's fine. I get it. Cars are not always the best assets to talk about confidently. For me, I'm happy with saying that I have a $10,000 car. So that means that my assets are $47,000, which is just crazy because I'm really lucky that the government paid for a lot of my schooling. But we're gonna get into this actually. I have a $8,000 debt because that is my student loan, but it's all good. There's no interest. Literally Canada in general, like, I don't know. I mean, Canada's a good place to live. There's a lot to complain about, but Canada is great in many ways, we'll just say that. No interest on $8,000, and I just have like 10 years to pay it off whenever. There are some things that are really good. I think that it's pretentious to pretend like we don't have a lot. Sorry, I just know that, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I hate living in Canada. Canada sucks. Get me out of this country. And I know that obviously not everyone is benefiting from the student loans because not everyone's in school, but it just really annoys me when people are thinking it's all bad. But that's how people in first world countries are. We act like things are bad when we have it so much better. Anyway, I have $8,000 of debt to pay off. I just subtract it from my assets, and then I have currently on my visa I have $589. That I don't count as like a full-on debt because like I pay it off every month, so it's not a big deal. That means that my net worth is $39,037.01, which is crazy for me because at the beginning of this year I said I want my net worth to be $40,000 by the end of the year, and that has happened. Not that it's not happened yet, but I'm less than $1,000 away. In fact, it's currently Wednesday the 30th, and August 1st is a Friday, and that's actually my payday for all 3 of my jobs. Yes, I have the same payday, and I know for a fact that the accounting place I'm getting around $600-700. From the ice cream truck I'm getting around $300 I think, and then the burger place I think she owes me $600 or so. So I'm just saying on Friday we'll have $40,000, which I'm proud of myself because, like I said, I didn't think this was possible because I have such a low income. Okay, so basically I can say my net worth is $40,000, which I am so grateful for. I get that that's not a lot. I completely get that. So far this year, I've had $20,000 in income. Now that, maybe I should do a separate video on how I like track things, but then that feels weird because I'm using someone else's budget tracker. So then it feels like using that to make my own video. I don't know. I have this breakdown up here of what I've earned and what I've spent. I've only spent around, well, expenses and bills combined. Bills is basically just my car insurance. I've spent like $5,000, so I spent only a quarter of my income, which again, really grateful for. By the way, I don't pay rent. Oh my gosh, I didn't even explain, guys. I live at home. I live with my mom, and then I live with my dad too. I like spend time at both our houses, and I don't pay rent, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I don't have to buy my own groceries. I don't have to pay any utilities. I am very lucky. I am a lucky, privileged person. I get that. I don't need you to tell me. I understand. But again, that's just my situation. I can't help it. I'm really grateful. I can be grateful for it and lucky, and I can acknowledge that I'm really grateful and lucky, but I can't change that. That's just how my life is, and that's what I'm given. So yeah. Anyway, my income is those three after taxes. That's the thing, is that's how I do this, is I do it a bit based on like after taxes, what money do I get into my account. That is what I count as my income. Oh, also, my grandpa gave me $2,500 as a graduation gift. My income is comprised of my 3 jobs, plus interest that I earn, gift money that I get, the government, because I get like a carbon rebate, GST credits, a tax refund. All that stuff is what I've included as income. $2,500 really throws it off. If you want to know my actual earnings, I just go and look at my pay stubs. I don't want this video to be long.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
So I'm not going to go through like my budget or my expense categories or things like that, just because it's a lot. And that's probably not why you're here. 20 years old, and my net worth is like $40,000. My goal is to get to 100,000 by the time I'm 25. That's 5 more, actually. Oh my god, I'm literally, sorry, forgot to mention, you can probably tell I don't do YouTube videos, so. But I am going to be 21 in September. So that's literally like in a month and a half, if that adds anything for you. Let me know if you have more questions. I feel like I missed some context that would have been helpful. Anyway, that's a bit of a quick overview about my life and why my net worth is 40,000. To some people, you know, to some 20-year-olds that's really low, and then to some that's really high. A lot of 20-year-olds are still in debt because of school, and a lot of 20-year-olds are millionaires. Most aren't, but some are, and so, or they've been working longer and they just graduated high school and immediately started working. They probably have a lot more money. I'm grateful to be able to see what happens in the future. I am not planning on buying a house anytime soon, or a new car, thankfully, or going back to school or anything, so I don't have any big expenses coming up. The biggest thing would be me moving out, maybe, and then I have to pay my own rent. I think that even with that, I might be able to get my net worth to 100,000 by the time I'm 25, which is in less than 5 years. I have to make that happen. We're gonna see if it can. I am nervous, but I think it's a good goal. I thought $40,000 sounded outrageous by the beginning of this year, and I've done it, and it's only July 30th. That was my goal for December, so maybe I should make my goal 45,000. If you have any questions, ask me. If you think that I said anything wrong, if you were upset at me in any way, let me know. I do not know how to talk about this in a respectful manner. Let me know what your situation is. Let me know if this sounds really conceited. If you want me to talk, or that sounds like a little like presumptuous. I love talking about finance and money. It's what I went to school for, and I just love it. Thank you for watching this. If you watched this, I know it was really rambly, but I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you. Okay, what? I literally don't know how to even end a video.